now we're joined by Kurt Volker, former U.S. ambassador to NATO. Ambassador, great to have you here. Let's start with these weapons that President Trump approved to send to Ukraine. Ukraine urgently needs these Patriot missile defense systems, and only the U.S. has them. Axios reports the U.S. will send $10 billion worth of weapons to NATO, which will give them to Ukraine. Is that enough for the Ukrainians?
Well, it's a great step. It's a great start. It's essential that we eliminate the uncertainty about the availability of American weapons and ammunition for Ukraine. For the last 5 months, it's been very unclear, would we approve these kinds of sales to Ukraine or not? Now it's clear we're willing to do it. They're going to move. This is very significant. It's a signal to Putin that we have the ability and the will to do this, which means that his military effort is ultimately not going to succeed.
Well, Putin thinks he has the momentum right now in this fight.
I don't know about that. I think he's trying to grab what he can while he still can. He knows that his finances are under stress. He's having trouble recruiting the new people into the military that he wants to recruit, given the level of casualties that they have had. The economy is in bad shape, and people in Russia are impatient with that. So I think he's actually escalating in order to create an appearance of strength and to grab what he can. But I think he also knows he's going to have to settle for a ceasefire at some point.
Trump also announced these sanctions, 100% sanctions on Russia in 50 days if Russia doesn't agree to a ceasefire. And most notably here, the secondary sanctions on countries like India and China, because we don't really trade with Russia. That's what's going to hit them hard. These 100% sanctions are much less than the bill in the Senate, which has widespread support, which calls for 500% sanctions. What do you make of the decision by President Trump to impose just 100% sanctions and to wait 50 days to do it?
Well, I think, first off, on the 50-day warning, I think he wants a deal. He wants Putin to stop the war. So he's actually trying to create the leverage and create the opportunity for Putin to actually stop it. He's also trying to tell countries like China and India, you have 50 days to figure this out. You go tell Putin to stop the war, because if he doesn't, you're going to pay 100% tariffs on the goods that you're shipping to the United States, and you don't want to do that. So go tell Putin to stop the war. And if they can't convince Putin, then they need to make alternative arrangements for energy supplies. So it puts a little bit of pressure on everybody, and I think that's the intent that Trump has in this, is not necessarily to follow through, but rather to create the incentives for everybody to solve this.
But will it? Because we've seen President Trump threaten big tariffs on practically the entire world and then back down from his own threats and his own deadlines.
Well, that's the key question. And in the case of Iran, on day 61, Israel launched massive attacks on Iran. The U.S. followed through, and now we have a peace deal between Israel and Iran. In the case of Putin, Trump put out 2-week deadlines in the past, only to renew them with another 2 weeks and another 2 weeks. So we have to see if this 50-day deadline really sticks. But I think this combination of things, steady supply of arms for Ukraine, secondary sanctions that can dry up the funds going to the Kremlin's war budget, possibly lend-lease for Ukraine if the Congress were to approve that, where we lend money to Ukraine, they buy American weapons, they pay us back later, and then possibly seizing the frozen Russian assets from the central bank that are in both the U.S. and Europe. In the U.S., it's only $8 billion, but in Europe, it's 260 plus.
It's a lot of money.
If we would do that, that's a lot of money, and it could pay for a lot of financial support and a lot of weapons for Ukraine that Russia would end up paying for. So these are things to put on the table to really get Vladimir Putin thinking about, does he really want to continue the war?
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.